Everyone, this is Carla R. Jenkins, and welcome to an all new episode of Projectized, the project management show, where I discuss three things: the business of project management, how businesses use project management, and obtaining project management certification. So, today I'm going to talk about how using project management can help you mitigate cybersecurity risks during COVID. And here's the article that I am going to put in the. Here we are. To put it right in here. So everyone who come in, welcome and thank you. So we're going to start off with 5 reasons. As you know, I always want to make this show relevant to people. And since we're currently in the pandemic and there's a lot of cybersecurity breaches because we're using new technology, this would be relevant. So number 1 is fostering a culture of cyber resilience. So even though you have the tools such as Zoom and Skype, you have those. A lot of people were forced during this pandemic to go from in person or offline in the office to online. And because they didn't know how to use those types of online meeting communications, go to meetings and all of that, it really hindered and demoralized a lot of people. But it's very important to break down the barriers between the different departments. And by creating a culture of resiliency, that would really help people. And that's the number one thing. Like, even if there's a tech breach, because something will eventually happen, just making them resilient, being accountable for when a breach does occur, doing lessons learned, doing disaster recovery, reconnaissance that you may need to do, and just continue on becoming better and building a stronger, more resilient system. Number 2 is focusing on protecting critical capability and services. So remember, even though we have gotten kind of accustomed to this pandemic, a pandemic still means disaster management. It still means continuity of operations and business continuity, because this is not a normal business cycle. So protecting critical capabilities, things that always have to be on no matter what's going on, it's essential to reestablish like the cyber hygiene culture. That means moving to new models and managing access. I will give you an example of this. A lot of times what this pandemic did do was shake up paradigms and methodologies, because certain companies didn't have standard operating procedures for working from home or using Zoom or using Skype. It was, we've always done it this way. And what the pandemic COVID-19 forced us to do is do things a different way. And it forced us to create new policies, new procedures. And so, according to this article from Tech Republic, focusing on the critical capabilities and services is very important. It also says to prioritize automation. Why are we prioritizing automation? Because you can set it and forget it. And the less you have a human doing something, the more you can do on your work. So automation is great. Number 3 is balancing risk-informed decisions during the crises and beyond. So they have how you and your organization can define practical and relevant cyber risk metrics, operational risk, and any new digital strategies. So for here, risk management is very big. When I was teaching project management professional exam, as soon as it started in March, I led off with risk management, which is normally chapter 11, because I wanted them to get the information that they needed to make an immediate impact. Risk is very important. A lot of the risk metrics and the standards have been changing because of that. And it's essential that you do a risk assessment or a risk analysis. Number 4 is updating and practicing response and business continuity plans. As I mentioned before, we're still in a pandemic. We're still in disaster recovery, which is why they're using the word resilience. Resilience means something happens and it comes back. So it means preparing crisis management teams. Here in project management, 90% of your job as a project manager is communication. So, you're now doing crisis communication. Crisis management is project management because you're in a pandemic. You want to function under intense pressure, which does happen, to be able to redefine the worst case scenarios in a new reality. And then number 5 is strengthening the ecosystem wide collaboration. That's the one thing that you have to admit has been increased. The pandemic has broken down silos. It's broken down silos for departments. You had to share resources. And so collaboration is a very good thing. Here with the Project Management Body Knowledge 6th edition, that would be the resource management knowledge area chapter. So that would be chapter number 9. We deal with human resources and physical resources such as machinery, and the project management software. So those are the 5 things about using project management to mitigate cybersecurity risk during COVID. As always, I wanted to make Projectized a relevant show for you, and I feel that this would be something that would be very, very helpful to you. Also, remember it, as I did the show yesterday, we have less than 120 days or 4 months before the project management professional certification exam changes. If you do need help in that, please get in touch with me at carlarjenkins.com/contact. I always shout out people who watch me live. So I'm going to Instagram live and I shout out Daphnor25 for watching me live.